Hey everyone, it's Blue Lizard Jello and welcome back to Everything Possible in the Surge 2. Today we will be making our way over towards the Seaside Court which hides under the octopus, but before we even leave the medbay, there's just a couple of things that we need to talk about. One thing that I did not show off because it's not something that happens on a guaranteed basis, but there are certain enemies, if they have head armor, that can drop this particular implant, the improved transistors. Now you can get a guaranteed one later on, but if you do manage to get it early on, it takes 4 core power in order to implant, and it reduces your energy decay by 25%. Something else that is not necessarily guaranteed is this right here, the Molotov Cocktail Drone Consumable Module. Any of the enemies that wield the fire starter, the ones that throw the Molotovs, if they are wearing chest armor and you cut that, there is a chance that you will get this Molotov cocktail. Unlike other drone modules though, this is not something that lasts forever. Once I use those 3 Molotovs that I have, then the drone module is gone until I restock either by buying them later on or by cutting more off. And then lastly, as far as the online components go, number one, I am still playing online because as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, I'm actually being somewhat successful just by hiding my banners. I got the full 5,000 scrap from the last banner that I hid. In fact, I think we're going to hide another one just because we can. So if you remember, that was inside this room, past the mag lift. Oh, and it's still here. Or maybe I placed another one already. Pardon my forgetfulness, I guess I've already replaced it there, hopefully getting another 5,000 scrap. But there was one other minor online feature that I failed to mention, and that is occasionally you will find the corpse of another player. It will say their player name on the corpse, but they will have a battery charge on it. And that is about it, so let's get started. Oh, I should talk about the gear that I'm using. I am going to be playing around with the Clinch Velo Saw. I have always liked the one-handed weapons. We're going to upgrade it here in a moment. But then I did craft, you saw I already crafted it in the last episode, but now I'm wearing the Scavenger's head, body, 1 arm, and 2 legs. That's giving me the partial set bonus, which if you remember is after performing a backstab attack, my damage is increased for a very short time, and then I do just have the 1 Nightfall arm. But because I have a chest piece on, I can now do this. They do have gear lights, so by pushing down on the directional pad, I can turn that on and off, which in certain areas is going to prove very nice. So let's spend some tech scrap. As I said, I am going to upgrade my Clinch Velo Saw here, which is right there. Upgrade that just to Mark 1, great, up to 92 damage, not too bad. And then I'm just going to level up a little bit. Can't hurt, and it also allows me to use more implants. So as you saw there, because I just surpassed 20 core power, it unlocks a 5th implant slot. And because I now have 6 extra core power to play with, I can play around with the ones that I want to use. Stamina regeneration isn't terrible. Omniclip I can't use just yet. Toxic filter, there's not a lot of poison coming up just yet. So tell you what, I think because I want to make sure that we're getting cuts, I am going to use the Physical Aggression Redirector. So 3 core power and a reduction of 25% damage if I'm not hitting, or if I shouldn't have been hitting the part that I'm actually targeting. So we need to make our way back to where we left off. So I'm just going to kill a couple of enemies nice and quick here. Not even worrying about getting the cuts. All I want to do is really build up some pre-charges for my Metavoltaic. Okay, there we are. There's the 2 more enemies that I'll have to go through. And this guy has a helmet on. That's good. I do need to collect some more materials. There we are. Some headgear processor. Let's take out this guy as well. Also has some headgear processors for us. Already getting the cut. Perfect. And there we are. Right. And at this point, we're right back where we ended the last episode. So you remember we got the banner drone up here. Oh, and here we go. Corpse of Artorias. First he fought the Abyss, and then he came here to fight the nanites. But as you saw, there was a battery charge on there, and I was able to pick that up. Now we have 2 enemies here, one wielding the fire starter, one wielding a gun, something we don't see too often, and we can rip that off them. Now if you'd like, you can drop down here, take out that somewhat difficult enemy, and get a ambush on these enemies, or what I like to do is just try and pull this guy. A couple of well-placed shots. I do want to get his headpiece as well. Come on. He's going to throw a Molotov. That's fine. I want to get the headpiece because he is using the Vulture armor, him and his friend over there. So let's pull him as best we can. Back up. And, ooh, we're not going to have the energy to get the cut. But what you can do is instead of taking him out now, let's just rush this guy with the gun. We're going to focus on his left arm because we want to rip that off of him. There we are. Oh, missing some stamina. And we're not going to get the cut on his arm. That doesn't make any sense. There it is. And I should have enough energy to immediately turn around on this guy. And without even attacking, I got the prompt for the cut. So that's a strategy that can work out really nicely. If you find yourself without energy to get the cut, leave that particular enemy alone, and then you can just run back to him. So there's the Vulture headgear. And then over here, from that enemy, because we ripped off his gun-wielding arm, we got the Klokhanov, is how I'm going to say it, Klokhanov, there we go, that's probably better, R47 auto rifle. So this is a drone module. It only does 30 damage as opposed to the 40 on the laser pistol, but this is a 3-round burst, so it does spend 3 Omni cells per shot. So just keep that in mind. Right, so over here, as you can see, we do have a nanite echo.
You can run, little girl. You sure as hell can't hide. That's it, kid. It's over. You're coming with us. Wait, what is she doing? Hurry up and grab her! It's impossible. Ah!
Bit more insight into Athena Guttenberg. Obviously not all is as it seems with her, but it does leave behind a loot cache and inside. Fantastic set of weapons that I'm going to be switching to actually right now, and those are the Metamorphing Talons. Metamorphing Talons, they do 87 damage, 12 impact, 110% attack speed, 35% energy gain, only 70% stamina consumption, and they do nano damage. These are a returning weapon from the Surge 1, and this is a twin-rigged weapon type. Now is a good time to talk a little bit about the different elemental effects that weapons can have. These talents do have the nano, which if it procs, if it is built up over time and it procs, it causes burst damage, similar to bleed in the Dark Souls game. We also have a fire weapon with the fire starter, and similar to the nano, it does have a build-up meter, and then once it is filled, it causes damage over time. Same with poison. It will cause damage over time if you can cause the meter to build up. Electricity, however, which we'll be seeing soon, causes a stun if you can get the meter to build up, which can be extremely effective against enemies. Here we have State of Surveillance, so let's listen to this audio log.
In Jericho City, everyone is equal before the law. A tiny surveillance chip implanted in your auditory nerve records every conversation you'll ever have. That way, we can always protect you from unfair allegations or defamation of character. To review personal recordings, please fill out the appropriate form and expect a waiting period of up to 2 years. If you find a misplaced audio log on the street, we urge you not to listen. Violations will be punished with a steep fine and/or brief imprisonment. We already know you listened to this recording, so expect to receive a sternly worded letter from our lawyers soon. Have a nice day.
I love that recording, especially the tongue-in-cheek humor at the end, talking about how they already know we listened to that audio recording, even though we weren't supposed to. So we came over here to the scaffolding, dropped down the maglev. Inside we have another implant, the rate capacitor, 5-core power consumption, but it prevents the decay of one battery. In other words, if you fill up a battery charge and you don't use it, that battery charge will not go away. This sludge on the ground, that is poison, which means that I'm going to take some slow damage as I stand in it, but if that meter builds up all the way, I will take some pretty significant damage over time. Another door that's locked magnetically with the starfish module that would allow it to open. Now I do want to get this enemy's weapon. As you can see, it is new, so let's see if we can't get a backstab. Right, here we go. So you can see that meter building up. As soon as I get just a couple more hits, there's the burst damage, pretty significant. In fact, I want to be careful here. I'm going to just attack nice and slow because I do want to get the cut. There it is. And from that, we get the Salvaged Crusher. Salvaged Crusher, another heavy-duty weapon, 100 damage, 26 impact, 90% attack speed, 90% energy gain, and 140% stamina consumption. Now notice that this is a Mark I weapon. Some of the weapons that we've been picking up lately are Mark I. As you proceed through the game, and I really appreciate that the Surge did this, the weapons will actually get stronger when they're dropped. They won't just drop at the base level, which is very, very nice. And over here we get another multiplayer drone. This time it is the spray can. So you can see we do have these graffiti tags all over the place. And now we can add our own. In fact, that's what I did during testing. I know. 2 robots and a guy with a backwards hat. I'm hip. I'm down with it. Now I did mention that I was probably going to be playing offline, and that is going to be true here soon, but I did get a message that asked if I would at least show a revenge enemy, and since we don't know exactly when that'll happen, I'll just keep leaving it online until I kill a revenge enemy. As you can tell by the sign here, Seaside Court is just going to be further on that way. But before we head to Seaside Court, we have a couple other side sections that we want to check out.
Contaminated material detected. Copy that. Safety precautions initiated. Bullseye.
That drone was very important to someone who lives just over there. We'll be meeting with him very shortly. Over up the stairs, we have a shortcut that we're not going to be able to open just for a little while. But as we approach these barricades, these signs pop up, and if we get close, once again, these scanner guards, they're going to get a little upset, but as long as I stay back, it's not going to be too difficult. They're not going to come after me. Now, one thing that I haven't really mentioned is how to switch targets in between multiple enemies, and that is simply done with the current default setting by clicking on the left trigger. And as far as targeting body parts, that is done with the right analog stick. Now, there are configurable options that you can play around with, but I actually like the default setup. So as I'm targeting his head, if I just use the right analog stick, I can start switching between all the different body parts. There we go. But if I just ignore them, if I don't get too close, it's not a big deal. Instead, I can just run this way and grab myself a new implant, the Manslayer implant. 5 core power consumption, and this is really good if you know you're going to be fighting a lot of humanoid enemies. 10% increased damage to humans, but 20% reduced damage to robots and nanotype enemies. Good day, officers. Thank you for doing all that you do. Let's make our way over to, well, where the drone came from, likely belonging to this man right here. Ignoring the enemies that are over to our right, let's go inside and talk to the good doctor.
Welcome to best clinic this side of Seaside Court, Tavarish. Feeling a bit sickly? I've been able to keep them at bay, but I'm not quite, how do you say, enough ripped to beat them without my little turret over there. Normally, I give you real thorough checkup for free, but we run out of medical equipment. How pathetic, duh? I am world-renowned surgeon, yet my hands are tied. Damn apparatchiks confiscate nanomachines all over Jericho to cover up truth about nano disease, Defrag. Without alternate supply routes, I'd be screwed. Just a moment ago, they shot down secret delivery drone right outside office. Even if soldiers don't find it in time, those damn scavengers will. You'll have to be sneaky. But if you pull off little heist, I'll let you use med station on wall for free. Of course I'm real. Just trust evidence of your eyes. They call me Dr. Anatoly. Don't believe government agitprop. I am hard-working, genuine medical person. Of course, Tavarish. Your health is my business, eh? Say, Your nanite readings are strange, very disturbing, but nothing to worry about. Probably. You're stronger than entire Russian weightlifting team. You can pass through that scanner gate, no worries. До свидания, товарищ.
So the Shady Doctor wants us to recover his drone, and in return he'll give us access to the med station. We'll actually get a little bit more out of it. Now let's head into this building. Now this enemy in here does have a new weapon that I want to get, but also this is the first time that we're going to be fighting someone with a shield. The trick to destroying a shield is to use one of the charged attacks. This will break it in 1 or 2 charge attacks. So let's get this guy's attention. Bring him my way. There is a gunner up top that I don't want to deal with. So let's target the shield holding arm. There is an excellent, all right. There was an excellent deflection, and actually that worked out that even just the perfect deflection was able to give us the shield break, which is very nice indeed. Careful now. Now one thing we haven't really talked about much is the fact that you can do perfect deflections even in the middle of a combo, or even if you miss the first attack in a series of combos. So as long as you are quick to recover, you should be able to still get a perfect deflection if you can kind of control that urge to keep spamming. But from him we get the Austere Plasma Auger. This is a single rigged weapon type with 96 damage, 22 impact, 90% attack speed, 70% energy gain, and 120% stamina consumption, already at Mark 1. Kind of a fun little weapon. I do like the single rigs, but right now I'm just having too much fun with the metamorphic talent. Okay, for this enemy I think I'm going to go for the chest, so let's just get up there nice and quickly. Get a drop attack on him because why not? Got that nice boost damage. Back up. Oh, we got the kill. Unfortunate. That's alright. Shouldn't have had anything from him that we absolutely had to get. Up here, behind these boxes, we do have an audio log. The ad for the hunters. Let's give that a quick listen.
Tired of sitting around, bored of waiting. Do you want to return truth, justice, and the American way to the streets of Jericho City? Then what are you waiting for? Together, we can take back our city once and for all. With our combined forces, we will defeat the nanite scourge and reclaim what's ours. Join the hunters today and help us defeat the nanite beast at Gideon's Rock.
We'll be meeting some of the hunters in the next episode, although we will get to their little hiding spot today. You saw in the loot cache over there, I did get another large pile of tech scrap. Now these are nanites that are going to cause damage. Notice I don't take damage just by touching them, but if I let that meter build all the way up, I would take some really quick burst damage. So heading up a little bit more, I do have a spear type enemy right here. I would like to get the cut on her if I can. There it is. There we are. Just getting some more tungsten alloy. Allows me to better arm myself. Back here, not much, but we do have another small pile of metal scrap. And from here, there are a couple different directions we can go. We're going to go over there momentarily, but first, let's head over to the mag lift. Definitely use the mag lift here. We don't want to take any unnecessary fall damage. And then inside this container, you have to break it. This is something that you can find with the drone module, though. We get the Nano Absorber implant. 5 core power consumption, but it gives you an increased defense towards nano of 150, so it slows the buildup rate of nano effects. That can be extremely useful against certain enemies. But even better, possibly than that implant, is this shortcut right here. Because if you're not sure where we are, there's the med bay, just over there. One of the things that I really have always appreciated about the Surge is that almost every direction you go in, there's going to be a shortcut back to either an intersection that's familiar, or even better, a med bay. So I'm going to kill one of 2 enemies in here just with my drone module, just to make it nice and simple. I really love the laser pistol. And then we have this enemy right here. We're gonna have to break his shield. I did miss my perfect deflection. So now I need to try and get a charge going. There we go. Shield broken. Let's go for the body on him. Almost got a good boost. Ooh, he had some range there. Well, didn't think I was going to be that close to death, but you know what? This is going to be a good opportunity to show you the death mechanic. So as you can see, I have 2.5 minutes to get back to my tech scrap or I lose it for good. But by killing enemies, I do get an extra 20 seconds added on for each time. So let's just add some batteries back. I'm gonna ignore that guy and just head right up to the mag lift. It's nice that I got this shortcut when I did. Let's take care of this spear enemy though. I'll get another quick 20 seconds. And inside here, once again, let's just kill this enemy with my drone. There is my tech scrap. Let's grab that. Get a nice charge attack to break that shield. Excellent. And like I said, I do want to go for the chest. Trying to prompt him to attack. Get the backstab because he foolishly turned his back. Should be able to get the cuts here soon. There it is. And we got the schematic for the Vulture Body armor. Excellent. Over here, we're just going to grab this battery because we should be able to get max pre-charges. There we are. Now, if I wanted, I could drop down here, but as you can see from the levels of these enemies, probably not equipped just yet. So instead, we're going to do just a little bit of backtracking. Oh, and look at that. You all said you wanted to see a revenge enemy, and what better one to show you than one that is a little bit scary, because it's the gunner. So what I think I'll do is, you know what? We haven't played around with the Molotov yet. Let's favorite that. There's my Molotov, and oh, unfortunate. Goes really high up. And it still goes high up. Well, that's two wasted Molotovs. I'm not sure that this is going to work either. We're going to have to deal with this enemy first. Haven't been able to get his shield broken yet. That's a problem. There it is. All right, we're going to have to back up though, because that revenge enemy is now on us. Maybe I could use the Molotov when he's in... Ooh, maybe right now? Nope, that's going to hit the ceiling. Although I did actually get this guy set on fire, which is kind of nice. There is the schematic for the leg, and now we are going to have to dance with the devil a little bit. There was a nice deflection. Already procced the nano once. Back up, back up. Let's just keep the healing topped off. Let him fire at absolutely nothing. Let's do a nice slide attack. I'm a little bit nervous to drop down, but tell you what, not bad. I don't think we're gonna get the cup, but that's okay. Look at what we got. We got Mark II of almost everything that he had on him. Absolutely worth it to go after a revenge enemy if at all possible. So now we're going to do a little bit more backtracking. Since we're not going to be going through these difficult enemies, we do need to go down towards the Seaside Court, which means I do have these enemies left because I did die, so I haven't killed them yet. Let's see if there's something that's not armored that we can quickly exploit. Sure enough, there's one kill. If I went for his chest, I might have been able to get more Molotovs. Tell you what, why don't we go for this guy's chest though? deflection right in the middle of one of my own combos. There's the cut prompt. And we got him. So there's some body gear armature, which is excellent, and some Omni cells. I can always use more of those. So down here, we need to take this a little bit slowly. There is an ambush, which, can you see him? You actually can, if you're very observant, you can see him sitting on the roof there. He's going to drop down and try and land right on us. More toxic sludge that we need to worry about, and of course this very dangerous shielded enemy. See if we can get him to do a nice combo for us, and then... Excellent. And the gunner, who normally doesn't join the fight right there, has come to play. So I'm going to have to back up and deal with him. Tell you what, let's soften him up a little bit. Get rid of him with an arm sever. Now it looks like the gunner might have retreated, so he may leave us alone actually for just a moment. Yeah, he's back in his quarter. That's good. Let's grab this battery, and then we want to be very careful because this guy's going to drop down right in front of us. Let's deal with him. Nice deflection. Get the kill, not too worried about getting a cut on him, but I do want to get the cut on the next two enemies right in here because each one is holding a new weapon to us. So let's grab you. Missed the perfect deflection, but that's okay. She obviously cannot fully wield this staff of hers. So let's just take that right out of her hands. Another returning weapon, the MG Negotiator, a staff class weapon. Mark 1, this one has electricity damage, so this would allow us to get stuns if we can get it to proc. 80 damage, 15 impact, 105% attack speed, 35% energy gain, 105% stamina consumption, and 19 of that wonderful electricity damage. In fact, why don't we show that on this next enemy type? There we go, you can see it lights up as soon as you start attacking. Then this is yet another returning friendly face. Oh, and I didn't think that I was going to get both of the parties to join. That's all right. You can see that energy starting to pick up, and there's the stun. There's the cut on him. Careful now. Good deflection. And just a little bit more for the stun. There we are. And there's the prompt for the cut. One of the early heavy-duty weapons. We have the NDOS RS3 Titan. Heavy-duty weapon, 98 damage, 28 impact, 90% attack speed, 105% energy gain, and 150% stamina consumption. Very cool. Now, take a look at this little throne of swords because we're going to see something else a little bit like it here in the next episode once we get to Seaside Court. From here, there is a mag lift, and we also have a room over here. We can go left or we can go right. We've got to avoid this gunman though. Let's let him come to us. Oh, and he's running. We don't really want him to run too far though because there are some other enemies that could be waiting for us. And there is the stun, which I absolutely love. And there's the cut. Inside here though, we do have this one enemy with an ambush waiting for us inside. So you can see him using this double duty weapon. Gotta be careful, taking far too much damage trying to show off with my combos. Humanoid enemies, when you aim for the head, it is very, very easy to drain all their stability and knock them off guard. Couple that with an electric weapon and the damage can just be absolutely insane. There it is. So there was a perfect deflection right in the middle of a combo. And another one should be able to get the stun. And we also have the option to cut something here. I guess it is his arm. Got some materials from him, and now we get the Cellular Regenerator. This is only the second implant that has an injectable. The first one is the one that we start with, the Metavoltaic. As an injectable, we can cycle through this just like we do with the Metavoltaic. It takes 3 core power to equip, 2 max pre-charges, 50% health restored over 20 seconds, and it only costs 1 battery in order to use. Now, before we are almost at Seaside Court, before we go that way and kill a few more enemies, let's go back here behind the dumpsters into the mag lift. Not a whole lot we can do up here, but we do have the improved transistors, which we already had, which means that turned into material. I do like this tag right here, letting us know if you fall there, that is a death, and sadly, up at the top of those stairs, nothing that we can do anything with at this time. So for now, I don't really like going that way because it's too easy to get surprised. Make sure we pick up all of our loot. Let's deal with this gunner. Once again, I think I'm just going to soften him up. Hey, you know what? Let's be lazy. Let's just kill him with our drone module. Over in the corner, there is a small pile of tech scrap. Here we have another shielded enemy. Let's pull him back because there are some other enemies, as you can see, waiting for us. In fact, 2 more. We're going to have to make some space here. Let's kill her nice and quick since she's not armored. I'm using a lot of Omni cells, but I'm going to be given the chance to buy them here very soon. There's the shield gun, but I have the gunner right on me. We might have to switch tactics here and go after the gunner. Let's see. Make sure we're healing. If I don't get the cuts here, it's not going to be the end of the world. Much more important that I survive this encounter. So we are nearly at Seaside Court. I do love the range on the MG Negotiator, really any of the staff weapons. Oh, that was perfect. We got the perfect deflection right into the electric stun. Here in the welder's block, you can see another enemy straight ahead. Kind of get an idea for where we are. You can see that river that we've crossed numerous times right over there. This is where we would have come out if we had just come through the hallways instead of kind of backtracking. And before we take on that enemy, let's go down here and listen to what I think is the most interesting audio log that we've gotten so far.
Hey Liz, it's Warren.
Oh my god. Warren? They told me you died. CREO's been on lockdown for weeks.
No, Liz, listen. That's not the truth. Not the whole truth, okay? There's something going down in this town. Something big. The government is lying to all of us. I need a place to lay low. Not for long, okay? Only tonight. I know we've been through a lot,
Listen, I'd love to help you. I really would, but AID has been knocking on every door in the district. My boyfriend would lose his shit if I went against the government. We can't risk our spots in the evacuation. I'm sorry, baby, but there's nothing I can do. Please be safe.
So, if you didn't hear, that was Warren, our wonderful friend from the first search, talking to Liz, which we had learned about in CREO World DLC. And unfortunately, he found himself here in Jericho City and was looking for a place to lay low. So we'll have to find out what happened to Warren. So I did get a new implant. This is a possibility of getting it from anyone wearing this armor type if you cut off the head. This implant is a 6 core power implant, and it has a battery cooldown of 15 seconds. In other words, it increases the duration that a battery will persist before decaying. And here we are under the giant octopus. There's another toxic filter implant that we can pick up for more scrap here once we go through the building. This mag lift is magnetically sealed, so we can't use it just yet, but we can open up this door and welcome ourselves into the Seaside Court. a non-combat zone full of people, very lively, lots of music, and we'll be interacting with all these people next time. But that is going to do it for this episode of Everything Possible in The Surge 2. I hope you learned something, and if you did, leave me a comment below and let me know what you learned. And if I missed something, or if you have a better strategy, let me know that too so we can all keep learning. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.